how are you? Monica Bodierski here, artist, author, and I guess an advisor of sorts. I have done a fair bit of consulting and advising. Doesn't mean I'm an expert, it just means I try wherever possible to get information to you that will help you on your journey. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I'd like to talk to you about transformation and how you can navigate that a little bit, given this last week, which was quite a shift of sorts, I would say, due to celestial events and, well, lots of other things. November tends to be a month filled with change, and it seems we've just had a lunar eclipse, full moon in Taurus combination, which, well, eclipses in general are a bit of a shakeup. And Taurus can be both dig those hooves into the ground a little bit, resist, but also patient, grounded, and resilient. So there may have been a bit of a push and pull there this last couple of days, and even leading up to it. I find with eclipses a lot of interesting, surprising things can happen. This leads me to identity issues and who you are as opposed to who you think you are, and how very amorphous and ambiguous that can be. Well, to me, sometimes thinking about this topic is a little like, well, having a cup of coffee, too many, and yet craving more coffee. That interesting, irritable, in-between phase of, did I have too much caffeine or not quite enough? So I thought I'd share a little two-card spread for you, but also talk a bit about my experiences with helping people, myself included, with identity issues. Identity is based on our experiences and who we say we are, who we think we are, sometimes who we want to be, but not who we are. Also, unfortunately, there are so many people who are not exactly in that 1% of what society deems as optimal in everything. Lifestyle, economically, skin tone, sexual preference, you name it, and are marginalized. And so society is also telling people who they are or who they should be. So there's a lot of assimilatory stuff going on there. This is why it's very nuanced, and it's a very complicated topic, and I am not going to pretend I know everything about it. I'm just offering a little bit of, I guess, things that you can think about, a few things that you can pause to consider about your own identity, how it's shifting, when it's shifted, who you are, who you'd like to be, and this brings us, of course, because all roads lead back to shadow work. Those things that we just would rather not admit about ourselves. Whether they're internalized from society's pressure and rejection of certain characteristics we have, or whether it's just things we don't like about ourselves and we go, oh no, I'm not that person. I'm not greedy. I'm so generous. I'll prove it. I'll just give away all 4,000 things I've purchased. Well, balance, right? So let's think about this for a minute. I did an art show quite a few years ago with a fellow artisan and artist, and it was called The Stories We Tell Ourselves. And it was about narratives and things that we tell ourselves. Actually, that was a solo show. Yeah, come to think of it, it was. It was a solo show. I can't remember all of the shows. And in that show, I wanted to explore a lot of abstract imagery. They were mixed media paint and stitching on the canvas, all sorts of stuff going on there. A lot of obscured things because I was exploring identity. And the things that we tell ourselves about our identities, because quite frankly, I can't control the narrative outside me. Really, I can't. And that's part of this. It's not a denial of how you're treated by society or how society views you. It's about the thing that you can control, your own narrative, all right? To whatever extent you can. I can't tell you I'm blue-eyed blonde, clearly, and nor would that be productive. But I can look in the mirror and I can say, what is it about my personality that maybe I'm not looking at? And we've talked about this before if you've done any of these shadow working videos or downloaded a PDF on my website to get started on shadow work. So if you're going to do that, if you want to get a deck, you want to work along with this, please do. I'm going to give you a little demo about how to use tarot to explore. Now, remember this, please. Tarot is not the definitive answer. I know, isn't that shocking? I feel like such a traitor. It isn't. Tarot imagery and the cards are often archetypes, symbols to help you unpack a lot of things and just question your perception on certain things, and sometimes with a little spiritual assistance. Gosh darned, it's amazing what cards will turn up. Okay? So, grab yourself a deck. Got mine right here. And I'm going to shuffle that and pull 2 cards. And I'd like you to think of, now we're talking about our identities, which we know is an accumulation of our experiences. And as I said, the narratives that we're told, that we tell ourselves. You could base it on age, ethnicity, anything you like. Those are all part of our identity. Some of you may know, too, that we attach a little too much of our identities on external things such as our jobs, our careers, our professions, physicality, and we don't look at the deep dark of who we truly are at our core. So join me, won't you? We're going to look at some real deep inside, okay? So you can turn this off if you don't want to go there. Clearly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull a card for the left. As you know, I do a lot of 2-card spreads, a card on the left and one on the right. And for the card on the left, I'm going to ask my deck, what do I see about my personality that I don't like? Ooh, all right. What is it I can see about my personality that I don't like? And the card on the right will be, what is it I'm just not seeing about my personality that I don't like? Notice both are about things you don't like. Gosh, such fun. Okay, let's get started. So, if I pull the card on the left and say, what am I seeing about my personality? I am acknowledging this, okay? Something that I don't like. It happens to be the Knight of Swords. The swords being an air element, and you can see this sort of person on a bat charging right in. Speedy communication, maybe a little too quick at times. Foot in mouth syndrome. Oh wow, can't take that back. Gosh, that was not very diplomatic. The older I get, the better I get at being diplomatic and being careful, because I've noticed a few people are very perceptive and can't pick up on subtlety. So, what I may not like. So this is going to require you to look at your card and not, compliment what you're seeing, but look at the shadow side of this. So, speed. You're thinking, what the heck could be wrong with speed? Well, what I just said, because speed can easily turn into recklessness, impulsivity, and things that, not the best for you, okay? But you're aware of them. So these are things you're aware of that you don't really like, okay? All right. Feeling good? Wait till you get card 2. Card number 2 is, what don't you see about yourself that you're denying or that you don't like? And that's where denial comes in. You don't see it because you don't like it and you don't want to see it, all right? And you just haven't sat down long enough to really unpack this sucker. So, I've got the Lovers. What am I not seeing about myself? Well, the Lovers has 2 meanings. Frequently, when I do readings, I say the Lovers can mean choice, okay? Whatever path you're choosing. Or it can actually be about love and relationships. So what would I say that I'm not looking at? I would say maybe I just not very good at making choices. Maybe I've made poor choices in love. Maybe I've made a poor choice in the things that I love, not just the people. And maybe I don't want to see that. Maybe I don't want to look at the poor choices I've made. Maybe I want to say the universe is just, rolling along exactly the way it needs to be. Now, that doesn't mean you need to look at that and go, I've wasted my life. No, don't go there. This is just, what is it maybe you're not seeing, and how do you know when you've hit on the thing? You have to sit with it. You have to take your time. And when you kind of feel green, like, oh, no, that can't be. That's generally it. Because it's something that we would find unpleasant. No, that can't be me. No, I'm good with, you'll notice you'll start defending things, and that's okay. I'm good with my choices, you. It's okay. This is a conversation you have with you. You can say no to it, but you know what good comes out of looking closely at these things? Questioning. Always questioning and critical thought and seeing what it is underneath that you're not uncovering or looking at. And again, why is that crucial? Why does that matter? I'm pretty happy. Do I really need to dig up the dirt so I feel lousy? No, that's not what we're doing. We're just looking at shadows, and once we accept that we're imperfect and that that's okay, that we've done that or that we do that, maybe we can sort of change the course of our lives, feel more in control, more aware, and again, I genuinely feel more empathetic to other people with those characteristics rather than projecting. So, yeah, that's another clue. If you notice that you are very critical about other people's choices all the time, maybe you should look in the mirror for a minute and see what choices you are making that you don't like. You might be trying to control others and the choices they make. And, maybe it is about lovers, though, and doing the thing that you love, dating people that you love or in a relationship with the wrong people. You would know best where this card would take you because the Lovers is a complex card. And the thing I wanted to mention too, just a reminder, if you pick a minor arcana card, it tends to be more temporary in my experience. Whereas if you pick a major arcana card, it is something that is a pattern, generally speaking, repeated throughout your life. So really, the first thing you might think is a string of relationships that didn't work out. Or a bunch of choices you keep making that just aren't getting you where you want to go. Often people, when they pick up things and they throw themselves into it and say, this is the thing, and then suddenly they run out of steam, well, that's a whole nother video. But that could be an avoidance of who you really are and that you just keep picking the wrong thing. Not just that you're having fun experimenting. That's, as I said, a whole nother video and can get very complex. A lot of creative people go through that, and it's not that unusual, but requires some other nuanced discussion. So, give it a try. Pick 2 cards. Remember, both cards are, one is the things you're not crazy about that, you are aware, and the other is about things that, well, you can't see, and they're kind of more difficult, okay? There's no wiggle room for seeing these in a really positive light. See what I did there? Have yourselves a great day. Don't feel lousy about shadows. Like I said, take note, shrug it off, walk it off. Enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to comment. Oh my gosh, did I do it again? Subscribe. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.